Hello everyone, it's Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be tying a little midge pattern. It's not the typical North American style midge because it's unweighted. I want this one to be on a floating line with about anywhere, well, it depends on the depth of your water obviously as well, but anywhere 12 to 15 foot leader fluorocarbon to help this one sink a little bit. Because it's unweighted, but I want this one to be fished right through the water column as it sinks. I want it to be, I want the fish to see it as it sinks. So this is one you just leave alone. You cast out there. If you're by yourself in a boat, you're allowed to have two fly rods out. Cast this out, stick it in your rod holder, work your other one for a couple of minutes while this one sinks down to whatever depth your leader is. And then you can start figure eighting this one back with the odd pop, 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 and leave it figure eighting it back, pop, pop, pop. And just even if you just figure eight this one and figure eight it and figure eight it, and then leave it alone and then repeat it. Like I said, it's unweighted. It's just pheasant material with a little bit of dubbing. It's really simple, kind of after the British buzzer style, but not really. A little bit like Chan's Pheasant Midge as well. Very similar. But yeah, this one is super simple to tie. Just make sure you counter wrap it with wire because the pheasant will get destroyed by the teeth of the fish. And like I said, fluorocarbon. Use fluorocarbon. It'll help it sink, but it'll go slow through that water column. You're not racing to the bottom. You just kind of want to go slow. You want to see where the fish are. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let's get tying. So in the vise today, we have an Ahrex FW 504 in a size 10. It's a short shank dry. Again, I've been doing a lot of midges, British style, and not the typical chironomids for North America, or at least Western Canada. I've been doing a lot of those lately because I love fishing them. I just love how well they catch fish. So I like having the dry fly hooks because I don't want these to sink fast. I want these things to sink slowly through the water column to, find fish throughout the water column. So, all right, I'll be using some black nano silk. I'll be just waxing it right now. For the body, it's just going to be some pheasant tail fibers. For the rib, a little bit of just a flat, small or extra small flat silver, and then a copper wire as a counter rib. So it's a very simple pattern. And then I put a little bit of dubbing at the front too, but you'll see when we're done here. So, okay, I gotta find my dubbing too because I put it away. I'm tying I think I've done 6 videos this morning, so and stuff is all over the place, which for me is not normal. I don't usually have my desk in too much of a mess, but when you're doing 5 or 6 videos, then that's what happens, right? So, okay, let's grab the dubbing. So it's the Hends Hard Dubbing, just in case you guys are asking. I want to know. Okay, so last thing to go forward is the counter rib, copper wire. So add that in. Now, if you do want this one to sink, which it's fine if you do, put a bead head on it. Just put a little black bead. Okay, got stuff on my fingers. So now a little bit of that silver tinsel. Now this is, like I said, small, extra small, or in 1/69th. But just be careful with it. It can break quite easily, this stuff. And if it does, I don't panic. I just put the copper rib in it and I leave it, right? So it's not a huge deal if you don't have both. I just like having both. So now I'm just going to grab a couple of fibers here because I don't want a huge body on this. So I'm just going to grab a few fibers. There's about 3 or 4 there, about 4, maybe even 5. But so Okay, and I'm just going to cut off that very tip. Tie that in. And come back. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hackle pliers, because my fingers are just way too bulky, and I'm just going to grab onto these ends and just come forward with this. Maybe I not. Maybe I will use my fingers. No, I won't. Not going to make it around if I do. I know myself too well. Okay, just hold on. Restart. I just didn't want to grab properly, so let's try that again. So I'm just in touching wraps, doesn't need to be overlapping. Coming forward all the way to the front. Tie that off. And I'll show you guys a couple of other versions in a minute. Or talk about them. I won't show them to you because I don't have them in front of me, but it's fairly simple. So now I'm going to take my silver. And like I said, I got to be kind of careful here. And I'm going to go counter wrap. No, I'm going to go the same way with this one. So give that about 4 to 5 ribs. Zap that off. Just be careful. Like I said, this stuff is a little on the brittle side, and that's one of the main reasons I'm counter wrapping, is because of the not only the silver but also the peacock herl. So now I'm going to counter wrap over top of both of those, and that will not only give it a little bit more of a segmented look, but it'll also give it a bit more strength, right? Wow, that was funny. I was just about to grab for my scissors to cut that. No, never. So now I'm just going to go back a little bit to what there. And I can pick whatever color I want. But I know for this one, I know the one I like the best. Just got to find it, is this second one here, number 10. This one here. This one, sticking out. It's the number 10, the hard dubbing. If you want to have a little bit of extra oomph to it, use the hair dubbing plus. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it, but for this one, I like this one quite natural. This is a very simple little midge pattern. Really simple. Not much to it. But like I said, it just works. They always have. And if, like I said, if you want this one to be a quicker sinker, I like it like this because I like fishing it through the water column. But if you want this one to be a little bit quicker, just add a small little black bead head to it, or a tiny bit of underbody weight, right? It's up to you. And then I just hit the dubbing just ever so lightly with my dubbing brush. And there she is. Super simple. Oh, yeah, I didn't lock the focus on that one. But there you go. So yeah, super simple little fly. Absolutely deadly. It works so well. It'll take time for this one to sink. So I tie these in a couple of different ways. Like I fish them in a couple of different ways. I will put a bead head on and put this under an indicator. I'll tie this and just like it is and fish it under on a floating line with about an 8-foot, 10-foot leader, and just let this one naturally sink down. Give it probably a minute sink count, and then start stripping it in really slow figure eights. The other way I like doing this one is on a sinking line, like a intermediate type 1 sink, and let this thing go down and then just bring this one back up through the water column, right? So, okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, give her a thumbs up. If you've subscribed, awesome. If you haven't, please consider doing so. And we'll see you guys on the next tying video. Challenge everyone.